This is the Code Breaker. This is Paradox.
And this is D. What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's up with you?
Man, ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing. Hopefully, we can come through and get a quick one in and then get the rhythm back going again, man. It's almost that time of year. The finals. Have you been checking out the finals at all? Forgot to even ask you about
I
that.
just, oh no, just the highlights and stuff. Clips here and there, interviews, but
I am kind of shocked that
unfortunately, it's one of those. It's going to be one of those down years because Halliburton and Alexander SGA,
yeah,
they didn't spend no money on selling them.
no,
I
they did
mean,
not. It was all Jason Tatum and
yeah, Tatum and
Giannis and
LeBron and Giannis and Steph. So
yeah,
good
Luca.
luck with the ratings, right? Luca, right? And Yoke and Joker.
Yeah, Joker. Yeah, yeah.
So
Those are the ones that they
it's
chose.
happened
But
before, though.
yeah,
It's happened before.
yeah. I mean, I guess it happened when Giannis first won his chip. I mean, he wasn't
Yep.
really. He was still good and great, but it
Now
kind of caught
they
everybody
haven't
by
sold them though.
surprise. Yeah,
Yeah.
it caught everybody by surprise a little bit. So
But we knew these young teams were coming, bro. I mean, I've been talking about that shit for probably the last 3 years at least because we knew that Orlando, Indiana, New York,
yeah,
and
Houston.
Oklahoma, they've been biting. Yeah, they've been there. Yep.
Yeah, even Houston is
Uh,
on their way
Even Houston. Yeah. So then they were
to a
they were
degree.
coming, but these guys, the great guys who's supposed to be great though, should have still held them back.
That's true.
Another couple years. Shit.
Well,
Yeah, it's
Phoenix was not.
disappointing. Phoenix, yeah, I mean, come on, man,
Phoenix
that's
didn't
crazy.
turn out as good as we thought they would be.
Nope,
So
nope.
that Beals and
Yeah, you had Bills, you had
Booker,
KD, and
Devin
fucking Booker,
Booker.
man. Yeah,
Yeah, you
man.
got two top 20.
No
Well,
excuses.
three top three top 20 players right there.
Yep,
That should work
that's a fact.
regardless of coaching. But
Doesn't matter. Didn't
it
matter.
didn't work. Did not
Nope.
work. Yeah. So
Wasn't
basketball
even
is
Luka
one of
going
those
to LA.
unique basketball is one of those unique things. It's not just talent, it's chemistry. The
Yep,
chemistry of the team has to work. So
that's right. Makes it
you
special.
can
That's
have
what makes it so
all the
special,
talent
man.
in the world, bruh.
Yep, yep. That's a fact. I think the only anomaly might be Golden State, but that was basically instant chemistry, and that's because KD is uniquely special, which clearly shows you how bad uh, Phoenix is, by the way, because he's a plug and play guy. Drop out. Hello.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Thought you meant drop out.
AL. Ways. Ways. Uh-huh. Say hello, Uncle Paradox. They get grown, man, real quick, and that's funny.
Yeah, buddy, that
Yeah, they
brain is
don't
a
want to.
motherfucker, boy. It's the
They don't want
brain,
to be
man.
bothered with you after a while. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, now.
I don't think it's them, honestly. I think it's just the brain. I just think it's really how the brain functions. The brain is a strange thing, man. When you watch kids develop, you can see that it's how that brain gets set up, how that brain starts to fire and connect them genetics, man.
Hmm.
It's just fascinating to be honest with you. But like you said, like why all of a sudden they don't want to be bothered no more. What happened? That attachment. The mind, man. It's good though for nature.
Independence, man.
Hmm?
Yeah.
And every kid's not like that though. That's the crazy part. They develop at
Yeah,
different times. And you
no
don't know
one's
you don't know what you got till you have it, basically.
fits all act. That
Say
is
what?
a fact.
Say
So
what
you
now?
just have to be extra. Yeah, I said that is a fact. That's it. You have to be just extra aware. That's all. You know. Am I delayed? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yep.
All right, so good. Let me know if I'm coming in delayed or if it seems like I'm delayed. Just let me know. I have to press this little refresh button or something.
Yeah, but you really don't know till you get it, until you have it though. To have 10 children, all different personalities, bro.
God bless you, man. That is definitely a gift. Trust me on that one. To have that many children, woo, that is a gift. And to handle all those personalities, yeah. And
Yep.
in modern times, where we're not in a rural environment, if you can't isolate them, to just being around family and the local area,
Yep, they will stray.
that's tough. That is tough. Very tough. So you ready for this birthday bash, man, coming up for your president?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching it all day. They all whining and bitching about it. Obviously they're paid. They're all paid off.
So everybody, just in case people don't know, today is the day that our 47th president has been born. So now the man is, I think he's 1 year from
Army
being
Day, bro.
the big 80, huh?
It's Army Day.
Oh, it's Army Day. Oh my God, Army Day. Yeah. True. I guess you're right. In a sense, yeah. Army Day. Army Day. Army Day, man. Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, man.
Something else, boy. That's crazy.
Yeah, not really though. That's all
70,
political hype.
79 years old.
You talking hype train. You talking hype train shit.
Queens, New York. Democratic Shield. I think he was Soros before Soros, huh? Pre-Soros. Yeah, I'm being funny, but yeah, in a sense. But
Trump has never had that kind of influence ever. And George Soros. Trump wish he had that kind of money. So you talking about the whole nother tax bracket, bro.
I know.
Trump is a poor person compared to George Soros.
I know.
It doesn't have the dedication and connection on top of that. As far as I know, I mean, cutting a check, everybody cuts a check to politicians.
Cut the check, man. So I'm gonna let you run it up, man. So I'm gonna let you kind of take us where we need to go, man. So what's the first thing that you would like to kind of get into this week?
I'm letting you run it up. You've been off for 2 weeks.
Nah, man. Listen. This is your president. I mean, this is your guy. So I'm just here for the celebration.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, the media doing it with I mean, where do you want to start? I mean, the media's. Should I talk about the media?
The tanks, the fireworks. I guess we're gonna have fireworks pretty soon. I don't know what time. They're gonna probably do that around like maybe 7:30. Do a little military display. Yeah. So we'll be able to see it.
Well, let me set it up this way then. Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with what he's doing? Let's start there. Let's find the.
You asking me personally? You asking me personally if I have a problem with it? No, I don't have a problem with it at all.
No, based off the left setting it up, which is dictators only do this.
No, you're doing. Now, who's doing the political?
Even though other countries do this.
Who's doing the political stuff, man? You asked me a question. You asked me a question on whether I had a problem with it. If I was dealing from a political lens, then that's something totally different. But no, I don't have a problem with this. No.
Oh, but your lefties do though. So you should follow the process. Follow the team.
So what is some of the issues that they say that they have? No, I wanna ask you a question about
the same narrative, which is that it's dictator like. You know, it's what dictators do. Even though other democracies do celebrate, you know, their military.
Yeah.
But you know, he's putting tanks on the streets in DC. You know what they do, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, but
you know what they do.
Let's dig deeper. I don't want to just go off surface. So you want to keep it on the surface, or you want to dig deeper than where we're going? Like, I mean you know,
shit,
it's up to
what's deeper? Politics,
well, I mean,
honestly, a lot of politics really ain't that deep. If you think politics are that
I know
deep,
that.
then you're playing yourself.
I know that, but I'm asking, do you want to keep it on? Do you want to keep it on the level that everybody else is on? Then I could just say, yeah, I could flip it back to you and say, yeah, that is something that he's doing that is a little bit.
But you tell me what
grandiose. Why spend if you're so worried about this is the politic game, right? If you're so worried about the money and the spending, why would you go about wasting all this kind of money?
He's not worried about that.
I know that, but I'm saying if you're saying that there's a lot of wasteful spending in government, why would you throw a so-called birthday bash? Like, for instance, right? For instance, you know how soft our streets are. Very soft streets in DC. Very soft. So having tanks and Humvees and heavy equipment rolling over the streets and potholes. Listen, man. 295 going 295, bro. Under the brick, dude. You already know what this is, man. The money that costs, the traffic.
They had to repay all the roads.
Not only that, the traffic that it causes. All of these things we are not a very large city. The city is very, very small to even handle a so-called celebration of this magnitude that he wants to put up. Friday, it was hell on Friday. You already know it was terrible yesterday. Like, yesterday was bad for everybody. If you want to go to that length, why do the pomp and circumstance? Now, I understand it because he is personality, the way his personality is, it all makes sense. It fits, it makes sense. This is what he wants to do. He don't look at this as wasteful spending, but his critics can and will pounce on this. So that's fine. So that's politics.
Bro, they called it the No Kings. It's the No Kings.
I get it.
Globally.
I get it. And not only that, then you think about how much money you wasting on sending some of the extra troops to it's so much, bro. That's into this. It's just like,
yeah, but I don't think you're wasting money. I think that the disconnect is you're not wasting money. You're trying to use, you know, like you said, the political part of it is you're on the left. You're looking for anything to attack, of course. But from my perspective, is it really? I don't consider it wasteful spending at all. Actually, you know, like you're celebrating the troops. And you all, because remember something, these protests, man, I've been to so many, I can't even keep count. These things are staged, bro. And so so one thing about him is that he's not so tied to politics where he's going to play himself. So what they were trying to do is burn California down and then spread it around the country. And I mean, burn it down. And so he shut that shit down and they don't like it. And I love it. I love it. I love it, bro. Love it. You hear me? Shut it down, bro. I don't want to hear all that whining and complaining about your rights and all this other bullshit. Shut it down. Quick. We sitting in a motherfucking Marine. We ain't even playing with you. If you even think about playing, we got you. I love it. I love the rhetoric. I love it, bro.
Do people have the right to assembly and protest?
No, we're not doing that. Nope.
I'm asking you a question.
Good. I'm good.
But that's what I'm saying. Either you have the right or you don't have the right.
I'm good, Democrat.
you have the
I'm
right to
good.
protest? This don't have. It's not a
I
democratic.
don't give a shit.
This not got nothing to do with whether you give a shit or not. Do
I
you
don't
have
want
the
you
right?
burning down my. I don't want you burning down my
Mm.
neighborhoods.
Is that what
I
was
don't want
happening?
you going. That's what. Oh, come on, come. I mean, you playing with me? Are we playing or what? What we doing right now? Are you playing with me?
So
What we
you
doing
don't
right
think
now,
you
bro?
don't think that some of that was staged? You don't think that some
Bruh,
of that was staged?
I
Paradox. Come
truly
on,
believe
man.
the people who I know who do protest, they are not coming there to burn nothing down or to destroy nothing. What that means is that people are being paid in the police force, in the government, and regular people are being paid to burn shit down in the fuck up neighborhoods. That applies to all protests going back I don't know how far.
Okay. So
People
if that,
infiltrate these things, they create
right,
massive chaos, and it's never
right,
a peaceful
right.
protest. So he nipped that shit in the bud, and I fucking love it.
But what I'm
I love
telling
it, bro.
you, what I'm saying
Fuck
is
the
that
Democrats, bro.
is
Fuck that.
that.
Fuck them scams.
No, no,
They out here scamming, bro.
bro. What are you doing? This is not about Democrat or Republican. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you
Oh,
going
yeah.
so
But those are
hard?
because those are the
with
filters.
that? But that you just said that there's people that are outside agitators
I'm
outside
going through the
of
filters though.
outside. No, I'm saying though, we dealing with filters, and then we have to deal with what's reality, right?
Yeah.
So there is a right to protest in this country. It's been
So the
it's
people
been
who
exposed.
people who
It's been
fund Democrats
exposed.
are the same people who have
It's
organized.
been
Okay, hold on.
okay. Go ahead.
Let's rephrase it. Because you're playing with me right now. You're playing with me.
No.
So do you think? So do you think?
wanted
So
to do
hold on,
this.
no. We gonna
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Let's. This is what I do. So
Okay.
you're telling me that the No Kings protest was a naturally organic thing by American citizens? Yes or no?
I just said that it was the opposite.
Stop playing
Don't
with
try
me.
to put me there. Don't try to put me in that.
Stop playing with me right now.
Don't try to start me from a premise that I never built. I never built that premise. I did the opposite. I just
Bruh, I
said
know what y'all are up
that
to,
it's not
bro.
true. What
I
is
know
he?
what progressives are up
See,
to. I know what you communists are up
you
to. I know what you Marxists are up to. Black Marxists, white Marxists. I know what you white feminists are up to. You black feminists.
can't
I got
put
y'all number,
me.
bro. I study you
You
motherfuckers
cannot.
every
You
motherfucking day, bro.
cannot put me
I
in
read
that
your
trick.
material.
You
I
cannot
read
put
your
me in that
books.
trick
I
bag,
watch
bro.
your video. I watch your interviews. I know what you're up to.
You cannot
I
put
know
me
what
in that trick
the green people are up to. All that shit.
Nah, bro.
And Trump is on that ass.
That is.
He on that ass, goddamn. Y'all hate that shit.
So
Even Republicans hate that shit. Because they feed off of that shit. Trump's like, nah, we not doing that. I'm going to burn you, I'm going to lock you motherfuckers up. Y'all want to burn shit down? We coming with full force.
So there,
Military, you got motherfuckers on like, oh, look at the tanks, look at all the stuff in LA, look at what they're doing too much, man. Get out of here! I don't hear all that whining, bitch made shit.
But that is the price of democracy. Don't you get it?
No, it's not. That's bullshit.
That's
left wing bullshit talking points. Get the fuck out of here. That's that academic bullshit. It is. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Is it? How
Keep
is
researching.
it
Keep researching. Keep researching. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. How?
Bro, I spent too much time on this bullshit. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Stop playing with me right now.
How could it be bullshit if it still holds up that the courts are supporting those so-called libs, and the court, as far as what I have understood, no, pause for a second. The guy that you're talking about, we're not going to be doing all this. The courts that he put into place, right, during his time period, most of these people that are ruling against him are judges he appointed. Explain that, bro. You have to be able to explain that. So that's what I'm saying, man. Listen, no. What I'm telling you is, you could talk about a flaw in the system that is basically being applied due to the way the actual rules or that the Constitution reads, the way it's basically interpreted in this particular country. Because what you're talking about, and this is why the left always pounces on you guys as being limited thinkers. Hold on.
He's not putting in Trumpers. Like, it's not like these judges are actually true Trump people. A lot of conservative judges.
The reason why the left keeps punishing you guys is that you're not intellectually consistent. Because when you talk about freedoms and rights and what you should be able to say, and I got the freedom to say this and this and that other, it doesn't hold up when it flips on the other side and they hold you to the account of what you said previously. That's why people, like I said way before, you get these extra white liberal white men that can stand like a Jon Stewart, Sam Cedar, all these kind of rogue leftists that can kind of go hard on these guys and embarrass them. That's the reason why, Paradox. And I'm
They're not
telling
embarrassing
you,
nobody.
I am
We are
telling
in
you, bro.
charge. Who are they embarrassing? What are you talking about?
Telling you, bro.
They're not embarrassing nobody. They're bitches. They're whining and complaining.
If you are in charge, then why are the courts constantly ruling against some of these things that are happening? We can go by this, even this week. We can go one by one if you want. These are courts that he appointed.
No,
these are the courts he appointed. These are the courts.
Have passed. I can show you 15 articles right now.
Listen,
courts have already passed a lot of things that he wanted to get done.
Of course.
They've approved. They gave him the space. Guess what?
Of course.
Gavin Newsom tried to sue. Gavin Newsom, and then I think 12 other states tried to sue him. It got checked, and that's why the Marines are still in California right now. By the way,
so
it got handled.
So they did not say that he was illegally there. They didn't rule against that.
No, they gave him some space.
I understand that.
They tried to do that, but they ended up giving him some space because he is trying to enact. Same with the tariffs, he's trying to use state of emergency rules from the White House to get some of this shit done. Same with the border, right? So they are trying to fight him in court, and he may have lost a couple of cases here and there, but they've been able to go against those cases, appeal those cases, and get things overturned and keep everything rolling. So the National Guard, he still was able to federalize them. Same with the Marines, obviously, but same with the borders. We still rolling, baby. What are you talking about now?
You're not gonna have me defending Gavin Newsom.
Well, of course not. You're so far left. You're a Marxist communist person. You're so far left. Of course why would you suspend the Democrats? Why would you protect the Democrats? That's your way out. They ain't really defending the Democrats, They're corporate Democrats. They're just as bad as the. Get out of here with that shit. Y'all playing mind games, bro.
For that one, Brad. You filed for that one. Like I told you, man.
You ain't got no choice.
I'm not putting you with the rest of these righties that embarrass themselves every day with this type of stuff, man. But if you want to live there, you can, man. But like I told you,
I'm everywhere.
What I'm telling you, man, is that the reason is the price. What you're talking about is the price of democracy. Your frustration.
You go through.
Don't got nothing to do.
You go through two apparatuses. You go to the Republican Party. You go to the Democratic Party. There is no other option.
I agree. So
period.
But what I'm telling you is that
ain't no other options.
What I'm telling
you
is
good luck out there.
Are we going back to the 50s, or are we basically moving forward?
What does that mean?
What I'm saying is, are we becoming more liberal, or are we becoming more conservative? What do you think is happening?
We're always becoming more liberal. Always.
Oh, okay then. So since that is the case, you're basically falling for the banana peel and the pipe. So if that is the case,
nonstop. The Western world is becoming liberal all the time.
Yes. So if that is the case, bro, what I'm trying to tell you is that these particular cases that keep coming up to stand out there, Donald Trump, the reason why they call him a fascist is that it is an authoritarian type of rule. It's basically trying to bend
the left and the right. The left and the right has done too much, bro.
It doesn't. Okay, then that's fine, but
they've done too much, bro.
That is not.
It's time for us Americans to check that shit. And Trump is doing the best he can do.
Americans, bro.
Bound by a lot of rules too.
If that is the case, then why doesn't he have over 50% approval rating in the United States on
those
anything?
Numbers, you fake news, bro. That's not real. Stop playing with me right now. The numbers is bullshit. You know that. Stop it, bro.
You don't think this country is polarized?
Americans got to get Americans need to get a fucking backbone, bro. life is hard. It's painful. And if you're trying to hold on to a nation, a country, you have to do things that are painful. So maybe people are upset. Maybe the numbers are a little bit lower than they were. You know why? Because when you're trying to make change, it's very difficult. It's very challenging. It's very painful. And America has to learn how to deal with that. That's the issue I have with 2008. When shit crashed, you're trying to save shit for it to become more monopolized because people don't want to have pain. So you got to deal with the pain, bro.
Stop talking about it as if it's a democracy and said that, yeah,
man, come on, bro.
We're going to lean towards being a more fascist type of regime.
Bullshit.
We should be in more control. We should
being facts don't make you a fucking democracy, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
You just said that he had the right to go over the governor's head and to restrict his jurisdiction, by the way. He said, I got it under control. Trump said, no, you don't. I'm going
to don't.
Hold on.
Because he don't.
Hold on.
He don't have it under control, bro.
Please hold on. So you saying that was you're saying based off the riots that we have seen in our lifetime in Los Angeles, bro, you think that was something that was paradox? Come on, dog. Come on. You cannot do that, dog. So you said that was on a level, that was on the same level as what we seen with Floyd, Rodney King. Come on, are you serious, bro? Nah, you see, that's what I'm saying, man. You're going too far right now. We need law
and order. We need law and order.
Yeah, Lord, there's a
balance.
That's
the problem with you left wing motherfuckers. That's the problem
balance.
Why is there so much crime in the inner city? Right? It's that mindset you got. We need law and order, bro.
You're swinging too far to the right.
You got 30 million illegals running around this fucking country, man. Cartels, murdering motherfuckers and shit, all type of crazy shit. Bro, you got to get to work. It's time to get to work. Corrupt corporations, corrupt companies that are hiring up, man. I mean, slave labor. I mean, what are you talking about right now?
You have to understand.
Play with me right now.
You can shut it down, but if you shut it down, you will.
That doesn't make you a democracy.
You will be going against what has already been precedent set. Thenceforth, you will be.
You're just like capitalism needs to have. Just like capitalism needs to have. Regulations, have meters on it, right? The same way we have oligopolies and all these different monopolies in this country, globally speaking, and the reason we have all those problems is because you're not putting proper restrictions on place. So we know that's a problem from the right and from the left, but mainly from the right, right? Same with open borders, all this other weird freakazoid shit. It's the same shit. That shit has the green shit, all that shit has to be monitored, has to be checked. Where's the check?
Process.
Where's the check for that? Where's the check for that?
Processing.
That's what you're not understanding. Where's the check for that?
Oh, man.
That stuff's being checked. You gotta go, bro. Get up out of here. 500. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. It's all of it.
Just to force the rule of law. That's it. Could be easy. You don't have to be so laxadays on it. Just
no more sanctuary cities. No more all this weird stuff that we're doing. It's just weird stuff, bro. Exploitation at the highest level. And the left, people think the left is loving you. They're exploiting you.
See,
period.
I never denied that. I never denied that.
They are just extreme as the right. So as a black man, if you cannot grasp that, I'm still confused by it.
That's crazy.
You guys playing games right now.
So you rather be used as white man's proxy?
Bruh, it's all the
for attacking the left? No. You don't understand.
I'm just picking the right side.
So,
it's all the same. I'm just taking a better choice. That's the difference.
You rather play proxy for the weaker side of the white male gaze when the lefties go over and kick their ass on a regular basis. Now you understand that is the weaker vessel. Getting their ass kicked by them, right? Oh, they've been in charge. All this complaining. They doing the complaining. All these guys, they're the bitch made. They're the weak vessel. So you guys are taking up that fight. Now you tell me that's the same thing that people say about the black woman taking up the fight of the white woman. Hold on. The thing is, what I'm telling you is that I'm the one in the trenches. You're not. Because see, what I'm saying is, you want to basically be.
Bro, I'm fighting for Christianity. I'm fighting for Christianity.
Oh no!
I'm fighting to maintain the Constitution. I'm fighting to maintain American history, America as we know it.
Nah, that's false.
That's what I'm trying to maintain.
Get out of here.
You people are trying to destroy our country. That's the difference, by the way. And so, of course, the ones that's destroying the country at this point may have more power today.
Take it back in blood.
It's the reason why you had Trump for 3 terms, basically.
Last time I checked, take it back in blood, bro. There was a civil war already here. One side won,
sure, and
they lost. They got their ass handed to them. Period, bro. Period. Point blank. Period. That's what happened, bro. Take it back in blood, then, bro. Take it back in blood. That's it.
The fight's here.
Get to the doing. Get to the doing. Okay, then, but stop complaining. Get to the doing part. Because, like I said, if you're going to go into the courts, you're going to continue to lose. You're going to continue to capitulate. You're going to continue to have these particular protests. And you're going to be mad until you can change this country fundamentally to be something else. Until then, stand the post and do what you got to do.
Well, I think that you do have to. You are working within the system, and when you get checked, you make the adjustment. So the dude who had to get shipped to El Salvador, the court said you got to bring them back, right? So you got to deal with that and make the adjustment to that. If you're having issues deporting people because you can't really get the criminals, and you're starting to go after random people, it's going to be political blowback to that. You have to adjust to that. You know, the adjustments have to happen. If you're trying to maintain the quota, your monthly quota you're trying to get to, as you know, for them with illegal immigration. But obviously we're living it day to day, and so if you have to make adjustments to things. You win and you lose little battles here and there. You're coming off as if it's over. We've already lost. You don't need to fight. Just deal with it. That's not how this works. That's how none of this shit works.
That's not what I said.
You take a position. You make a move. If your move gets checked, then you have to make a different move. That's all.
Before you run off into your narrative,
I'm not gonna let you run into this weird left wing weird shit about you just.
I know
either you're all in or you're not. If you don't go hard, if you don't have a civil war, you're not. That's crazy talk.
That's what you said. No, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it up. I'm pushing it. You push the chips in. I'm pushing the chips all the way in. I'm going there.
But see, I've been in for 20 years. That's the difference.
That's fine.
I've been in.
Hold on. Since you know me, I've been on my square. I haven't changed, but I've been honest about what the left is. I never capitulated about that. I never try to cover for the left. Never.
Yeah, all the time for the left.
Never, bro. Never. Would I say that this is the side that I think that Black people should be fighting for, because this is the side that allow us to have the voice? Hold on.
You should be fighting for yourself.
Hold on. This is the side that allow us to have the voice without us basically capitulating the race thing. The reason why you want to eliminate race, I know why, but see, that's the thing. It makes you have to eliminate to exist over there. You have to eliminate it from the equation.
That's ridiculous.
You have to. No. We can go. We could. Okay. I'm gonna give you proof. Candace Owens. My man. What's my man name? Brandon Tatum. ABL. All of these so-called right-wing prognosticators always have to down themselves down when it comes to the racial point. But any example that they start to kind of stand on, any example that they try to stand on that's outside of the racial element, which when they try to compare it to like the Palestinian situation, right? Candace Owens got cut for that. My man Glenn Lowry, when he started to try to bring, this seems to be wrong. I see the example, and then he got his head chopped off, even though his politics technically didn't change. He's still the same person. He's still the same person.
Yeah, I don't want to get too trapped. You're trying to trap me. I don't want to get too trapped on individuals.
I'm not trapping you. I'm giving you examples.
But there's nuance. There's tons and tons and tons of nuance to that. To individual situations.
I'm
talking about some global shit, and you're gonna drop me down to some individual situations.
No, I'm sitting up there giving you examples of what they make you give up.
That's a shitty example.
Right. That's not true. Example. Well, give me an example where you can exist in Black on the right. Give me an example where you can exist and have an actual conversation on the right about race.
First of all, you're talking about. Come on, man.
I'll wait.
Come on, man.
Give me a real example. When Colin Powell tried to do it, you saw what
he did. I hate to break this shit.
Hold on.
Stop.
Hold on, man. Listen, what I'm saying to you. I really want to talk calmly.
You're talking about living through some liberal.
Okay, then.
You
So
talking about you talking about some other you talking about some other
I
shit. Very
just
clever though.
told you. I
You
just
liberals,
told you.
you
I
Marxists, y'all on the
just
left, y'all
you
got
see
black
you
people
see.
so trapped
So you
that
want
you're
to throw
trying to
me?
play. You're
You
playing with
want
me
to
right
throw
now.
me? You
I
want to
know
throw
better
me into the
though.
Big Tent? You want to throw me into the
I
Big
know
Tent, and
better though.
I can see
That
why.
that
That's
is
fine.
not. No, you're thinking it's a race
But
thing.
to
That's
my,
not what it is.
this what I'm saying.
You're
No, no,
race.
no, no, no,
We
no,
know
no,
race. We
no, no,
understand.
no.
Hold on.
I
We
said
understand
they
race is
make
a
you tap
construct,
down.
right?
They make you tap
You
down their
understand race is a
identity.
construct, right?
Yes,
Bullshit.
very much so.
Bullshit.
They make you
Bullshit.
tap. They make you tap
Bullshit.
down their
What
identity.
identity? What
They
identity?
make you
Ghetto
tap
identity? What
down their
identity? Hood
identity.
identity?
They make
What
you tap
identity? Street
down their
identity? What
identity
identity? Which
to
one are you talking
exist
about? Which
with the
identity?
talking points.
Hood identity?
That's what I'm
What,
saying.
what which identity? Left wing,
You,
liberal, white, black
the
identity?
reason, the
Black feminist
reason,
identity?
the reason why they
Black
keep
Marxist
going hard
identity?
on you
Like which
guys,
identity you want to talk about? Black
the reason
Democrat
why,
identity? What identity? What identity? You mean
the
the
reason
identity that was
why,
formed through politics? Are we for real right now? No,
paradox,
bro. Come on, stop playing with me right now. You playing with
paradox,
me. You playing with me
paradox.
right now, bro.
You are
Mm-mm.
my brother, man. But listen, man, it is hard to see it this way because I understand that your argument, you have such a hatred for white liberals, and I share some of that, which I do share some of that. I understand the actual angst that you feel because of how they play in our
No,
face.
no, no.
Number
You don't
one,
gotta break
number
me.
one.
You don't gotta break me down.
Number
I'm
two,
good. I don't gotta be broken down.
I'm
It
not
is what it
trying to
is
break
with
you
me.
down. I'm not trying to break you down.
Yeah, it's that liberal. It's
Well,
that
you
weird
can't allow
liberal
me to
shit,
talk
bro.
then. What you
Because
afraid
I
of?
watched.
What
I
you
see.
afraid of? Why I can't have
Go
a
ahead, say what you gotta
conversation
say.
with you?
I'm good. I'm gonna mute
So
up.
so here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, that particular gaze, man, that you're coming from, as far as things happen to be a certain way and you want things to change because it's been swung so far to the left. There's some things that I agree with you on that, but reason why I'm telling you that we keep moving this particular power is because of the hypocrisy of the right to not hold frame onto what they really believe in. And if they're going to hold frame, then that will be a situation where they have to go against country and what this particular government believes in at the end of the day. If you're going to come out and say we want to run a different form of government to where we're a little bit more authoritarian, we don't believe in the so-called due process. We believe that if you are having the majority rule, that we can dominate and have things. We can skip the process. We don't have to deal with the red tape. We can just outrightly just do things without having somebody go through the courts and stuff like that. We can just deport you on out of here. That's not on the books. So when you have immigration laws and stuff like that's already in place, just basically enforce the law. If you enforce the law, there won't be an issue. But the problem is that it got so lopsided by letting things go, letting this thing run its course, that it basically got out of hand. And it got out of hand on both sides. This is not a one-sided thing. We talked about Reagan. We talked about George Bush. We talked about how they allowed immigrants here during the early 90s and the late 80s, bro. That started with Reagan, all of that illegal stuff and bringing the people in and asylums and trying to, use the Panama Canal, the Cuban crisis and stuff like that as actual benefit of showing America's so-called diplomacy and democracy and all that kind of thing and coming to this country, starting anew. That is something that's basically been done by both sets, both parties, bro. It is not a liberal Republican thing. That's why when people talk about immigration, that is a bipartisan issue. Economy, bipartisan issue. You see what I'm saying? And you have different cultures, you have different way of running those things. But that is the reason why I don't get into the back and forth on those things, because that is the minutia of doing government business in this country. Period, bro. Thank you for allowing me to speak, man. Go ahead. I'll mute up.
Yeah, I mean, we both obviously agree that the left and right both have issues with that particular situation, and the reason why they're activated with the whole "no kings" thing is because of immigration. That's been the driving force since they've been grabbing for people over the last 4 months or whatever. And I do agree with you. I mean, obviously immigration, the courts, it's been structured to get people here. So I don't disagree with you on that either. The reason we have Trump is to try to break through all those things for the left and for the right. I mean, we obviously know that most corporations, or many corporations, many of them are on the right. Some are on the left as well, of course. They get benefits from both sides. What he's doing, even though we know Obama deported tons of people, the most ever in history, or whatever, et cetera, and he did it in a way that was a little bit more quiet, a little bit more sneaky, obviously. And of course, I wouldn't even say sneaky. It's just that he's on the left. And since the media is controlled by the left, of course, they just didn't talk about it. They keep it pretty simple. But from a rights perspective, but still, even with him doing that, it still wasn't enough. Trump is still, I think, monthly, he's still under Biden numbers right now, since he's pretty much shut the border down from what they report. And so it has to be a way to where we can focus on getting 10 million people out of this country. That is a challenge. The courts are going to come at you, politicians are going to come at you, corporations are going to come at you, and the people who they pay, the protests are going to come at you. And that's what he's dealing with, as the president. I'm not sure where we disconnect on that part at. Do you think illegals should be in the country? Do you think gangs should be and cartels should be in our country?
Do I believe
should we have borders?
If you've been proven to be a criminal and you're here in this country illegal, you should be deported.
If you're here illegally, you are a criminal.
Hold on. However, because they have laws on the books, right, for a person that is seeking asylum. So you believe exploitation is a person on the left? That's what I'm saying. You asked me a question. You want me to answer? Or you want me to mute up? You want me to answer the question? You want me to mute up? I'm saying that there are laws already in place for that. So as far as I know, now unless the law changes,
those laws have failed, bro.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying. But
and he's doing what he got to do with executive orders with the White House.
See, that's what I'm saying.
He's doing what he got to do, bro.
You can't skip the process, though. Paradox.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, though.
Okay, then. So then,
this is a disaster, bro.
So then, when they punish him,
relying on Chinese labor, relying on cheap labor from Central America and Mexico, relying on labor from all over the world, terrorists coming across the border.
That's an extension.
It's a problem.
That's an extension. Don't act like
right now. Don't try to. We have enemies in this country, bro, that's here illegally that need to get up out of here. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
So when did that actually start?
But see, I know that the left, more than the right, I know the left wants to destroy this country. They want to destroy America.
True,
that is not
true. That is not true. No,
stop it, bro.
No, man.
So I gotta play you the information.
So the right.
Should I play you the information?
If the left wants to destroy this country,
hold up. I am deep in the left.
Let's show me proof.
I'm telling you as a fact. Show me.
No,
hold up. I can tell you for a fact that they hate America. They hate this country. They hate everything about this country. Hard stop, bruh. And most black people who are especially pro-black or on the progressive left or on the far left, the pros, the black, and all the y'all are anti-American. Period. It's nothing to fucking talk about. And you playing with me right now. Like, what are we talking about right now? You're anti-American. Like, that's a fact.
Who's anti-American?
That is a fact, bro.
Who's anti-American?
The further you go left, the more anti-American you become. That's all I'm trying to say.
If you flip that on the other side, due to the way the actual laws are in place and the actual what we call due process, right? That they want to skip all of that and that they're losing the country. The far right side of that is the same thing. I think you may be missing it here. Because see, this is the problem. The far right is the same thing. Because you guys are being manipulated by the left. The far right is the same thing.
Black Americans have spent too much.
You got to explain. You got to explain. You got to explain how I'm being manipulated by the left, bro.
Black people, Black Americans, and I know that people are confused. If you're not from here, you don't understand it. Black Americans have shed blood for 500 years in this country as it became a country. We have struggled and struggled and struggled. We have been enslaved. Everything has been done to us. We have broken through and we're trying to have a life here. but people on the left, white liberals specifically, but blacks as well, and black Marxists and black communists and all this other weird shit coming out over the last 80 years or whatever. All this weird shit. I don't even want to get to that bullshit. That shit is so fucking crazy. But that shit feeds itself into black communities, feeds itself into these pro-black groups, and
Right.
feeds into the Democratic Party. And these ideas, socialist ideas, etc., what they're trying to do, in my opinion, is that we fought too long to give it all away. We fought too long for the shit.
Okay.
So we have to look at things in a very different way. I don't give a shit if you vote for Democrats or Republicans. I really don't give a shit. As a black person, you have to understand, if you're looking at both parties or just the system as a whole, take your position. Now, your position is anti-American, so I understand it. I'm pro-American.
That's not my position, by the way.
So because I'm pro-America, even though a lot of corporations may fund Republicans, may give Republicans money, they may support Israel, both sides. They may support Zionists, both sides. What all those things that are happening sort of with kind of under the system, all those different situations with black people trying to get what they're trying to get, Hispanics, etc. With all of that said, at the end of the day, though, I want to hold on and maintain this country. The problem is, especially if you're black, from a left perspective, especially a pro-black perspective, what's the argument? America's horrible. It's racist. It's capitalist. It's anti-black. It's this, and this, and this. That kind of language helps deteriorate our country. And what I'm trying to explain to you is that, when you study world history and you study warfare, what these dumb motherfuckers don't understand on the left is, if you break this country down, you will be taken. There is no fucking fantasy world. We all get along on the planet. That's complete bullshit. It's complete fantasy. The only reason why you even exist to have a fucking opinion is because of the fucking military. Period. Hard stop. Nothing else to talk about. And so that's the paradigm I'm coming from. All this academic waxing bullshit, jacking off bullshit, all this trash talk about all this other, I feel bad, I'm a victim, and all this other trash shit. And I need Medicare, Medicaid. Fine. But you do need to understand something. There is no Medicare, Medicaid. There is none of these things if you don't have a system in place to protect yourself. And from the left, they just don't believe it. That's all I'm trying to tell you, bro.
So you're saying, okay. So you're saying Democrats. I want to make sure that I get this right. Democrat, which is basically the same synonymous belief of the left, that Democrats want to destroy this country. I want to make sure I understand you correctly, right?
Yes.
So people on the right want to save this country?
They are. We put Trump in office.
And that's saving the country?
Obviously.
You sure about that?
I'm comfortable.
All right, so let me respond to you this way then, since I got a little bit more clarity.
Yeah, go ahead and set the trap. I'm ready.
I'm not saying no trap.
I'm ready. I'm built for it. Let's go.
What I told you earlier stands. If you're going to reframe this country from what it already is, right? You already conceded that this country leans liberal. We're a liberal country by nature. We was built on rebellion. That's another thing that you got to understand. We was built on freedom of speech. Very important. Freedom of the press, even though it's controlled as much as it is. We still are built under the illusion of those tenets. For you to fundamentally say that these things need to be controlled unilaterally by government agencies or by other people that's in charge, and that it has to lean to one side, and that there cannot be any discourse back and forth, that is a problem here because of how this country was built and formed. Due process is a thing. Just because you catch someone that isn't illegal here doesn't mean that they're a criminal, doesn't mean that there's not circumstances, they're the reason why they was here for so long. If you happen to come across someone that is illegal, and that they have not gotten that paper straight. There is a process for that. That's all I'm saying. It's on the books. You know that, Paradox. A lot of these things
are
don't.
you
A
anti-slavery
lot
or are
of
you
these,
pro-slavery?
bro, like that's don't try to trap me. I didn't trap you. Don't try to trap me, bro. We're just talking about what's already on the books now. There is immigration laws that can be followed, bro. You don't skip the process by detaining individuals without giving them due process. That's all I'm saying, bro. When you do that, you're going to cause a ripple effect in this country
As a black
to
man, how
see
much
who
due
skipped
process
these
have you
steps.
gotten?
None. None. But
Then what we talking about
that's my
then?
point. But no,
What
but
we talking
it's
about
not,
then?
dude, we can't.
As a black person, how
Listen
much
what I'm
all this
saying.
do? How much
Listen what
all
I'm
these
saying.
rules that apply to you,
That's what I'm
right?
saying. I'm not trying to obfuscate either side here, bro. Because even when it's done, then it's still wrong. We just don't have people to fight for us. It's still wrong regardless, bro. And what I'm saying, dude, is that if that is the case, then the other side that's arguing for the so-called due process, for the laws to be followed, that's on the books, they have the argument. One, hence the reason why when you go to court and these go in front of judges, whether they're basically liberal or conservative, as
Yep.
far as their politics are leaning, that's the reason why they have to follow the letter of the law, because objectively speaking, they can't nuance themselves out of that particular decision. That's all I'm telling
Right.
you, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's the reason that I think we keep running into this wall. I agree. Some of the stuff needs to
I
be
don't think we run into. I don't think we run into any particular wall. Is that laws can be challenged. That's why you go to court.
okay.
You
Then
make your case. That's the whole point.
that's fine.
And Trump and
But
the
once the
administration
court
has a
decides,
gang of lawyers,
but do you
and
agree?
they're
Don't
fighting
we?
everything they're
But
fighting.
do
These go
you
to the
agree?
Supreme Court.
Do you agree once the laws are in place and once it goes to court, once the decision is made, right?
Yes.
And
Once the
especially by
Supreme Court
people,
makes a decision, you should follow
right?
the rules. I
Okay,
don't
all
disagree
right.
with you on that.
Okay, then we on the same page. Then that's fine.
No.
That's
Yeah, we're
fine.
not going to do with that.
Okay.
If a conservative Supreme Court says, "Look, I understand, Trump, you want to do what you want to do, but look, we got to follow the law." They got to follow the law.
Okay, then. All right, then. That's
But at the same
that's
time,
cool.
it doesn't. But it won't stop him from the rhetoric. It won't stop him from the pressure being applied. And the amount of propaganda from the left, bro, I don't even know where to start. Bro, let me tell you something. It's so bad. I wish black people just stayed away from this shit, bro. It's so bad, bro. I cannot explain to you. If I would have known years and years ago, it's bad, man. It's bad, bro. And they got our number, man. So it is. I can't not. I know I can't wake up any black people. You are what you are. I can't wake you up to it. But I just wish you just understood how you're being played out. I'm not worried about the right. I know what they are. And I tell you that a million times a year. I know what they are. I know what I'm dealing with, man. But I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Black people should not be on the left. I don't care if we're tied to it. I don't care if our skin color bounds us to liberalism, to moving to the left, to being more open, to be concerned about race. All that shit, all that shit in the conversation. It's all a part of the conversation, right? It doesn't fucking matter. Sometimes, guess what? Sometimes you have to sacrifice. Okay. I understand slavery. I understand colonization. I know who's in charge. I know what we have already sacrificed. And some things you have to sacrifice. Some things you got to take a position at some point in your life and say, you know what, this is what I am, and I'm gonna have to roll with the people who I might hate. Because if you think that these crazy crackers on the left is not psychopathic, you're out of your fucking mind. But these motherfuckers in the academic world that write all these fucking books, they get published by these white leftists somehow, but they're anti-white at the same time, which is a whole nother conversation, by the way. They come out here and they gaslight black people to do all this race shit. You're getting played out. You're getting fucking played. That's all I'm trying to say. Getting played. And it's bad. I mean, I don't even think that most blacks even understand what the left is even doing, what their goals are. That's what makes it gross, by the way. I've heard you talk, I've heard your friends talk. They come on the show sometime, and they're so washed in the left, it's disgusting. Because you don't, and you know what? And I'm not even going to tell you what they're doing, because if you know what they're doing and you're still pushing that shit, then you are the fucking enemy. You're the fucking enemy. Period. Point blank. I'm not even going to tell you, because I'm going to tell you. I start to think a lot of times, if you're black and on the left, you're some kind of fucking agent. You're getting paid, or you're just confused, or you're being manipulated. You don't even know. You're a useful idiot. It's bad, man. I can't even tell you. I just, man, I'm telling you, man, it's really bad. It's pathetic, actually. On top of all of that, and if you understand racism and white supremacy, and you really grasp that concept, you really understand it. I understand if you want to get money, you want to have a job, a career in the academic world, in the political world, or you want to get access to things, you're going to sell your soul to the left. But guess what? Motherfuckers who do that shit, they're not saying it that way. They're acting like you be talking to me. They're acting like, oh, they give us space. No, they don't. That's bullshit. That's a lie. That's propaganda. You don't have no fucking space under racial and white supremacy. You don't have no fucking space in this country. That's out of your fucking mind when you say shit like that. But you're playing another game. But you're trying to play another game, though. It's manipulation is what you're really trying to do.
Nah, man. Nah.
Oh, yes, for sure. Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Bro.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, hold on.
The ties that the blacks and the left have, especially the ties they have, the communism, Marxism, Leninism, all that bullshit, all that weird shit they be doing over there. You're out of your. I know what the fuck they're up to. I know what they're doing, and I'm watching them transform the society and transform black people. Black people don't even agree with that shit. It's switching over to that shit, bro. Man, you don't know how. I don't think you know how bad it is. Then you don't. You're not getting it. But you know what? At least a few of y'all are understanding it. A few of them are coming over to the understanding and coming over to the side, but it's not enough though.
So when you say a few are understanding and coming over to the side, you mean coming over to like the right?
Yep.
Is that what you mean?
Absolutely. Where else do you go? You have left, you have right. You got two picks. You got two picks or you're out.
Listen, man. I really want you to kind of like really think about what you're saying, bro. If you're gonna look at it, the dichotomy between.
I know exactly what I'm saying, and I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you use history against me. Because that's the trick. That's the game. That's the emotion. That's how you. That's the jam. That's how you jam right there. That's how you get it. That's how you get it. Though. Oh, you know, capitalism and Jim Crow and oligarchs and this and the money and the power and bro. It's some shit going on a whole nother level, bro. It's some shit going on a whole nother level, man.
You get to use anything to make your point, but I can't use anything to make my point.
I mean, my point. You can make the point, but I'm hearing these wacky fucking arguments that bleed into what you say, that bleed into what a lot of people are saying. I'm thinking to myself, do you know what planet you live on? What the fuck are people even talking about right now? It's fucking crazy.
So, what I'm trying to help you see, bro, like you're so fixated on.
Gross.
You're so fixated on the negative side of the left that you don't see the so-called.
The left isn't saving you. The left is moving you to Russia.
You don't
the left
see.
Is moving you
don't
to China.
See the right because
the right. You just don't know it because they're giving you a bunch of goodies. You don't realize that they're turning you into Russia and into China. You just don't know it because they're giving you a bunch of fucking goodies. Oh, do whatever you want to do until we have full control of this shit, and it's gonna become Russian. I'm telling you, bro.
You guys,
I'm telling you, man, you're not getting it, man.
You guys that are on the right, this is the problem.
The right is the only place you go for freedom, bro. I'm telling you, you just don't understand it.
That's a big crock of shit right there. You guys, because you guys have an intimate relationship with the left because you're a black person, you only see it as being raped by the person that's abusing you, but you do not see the isolation that the right has put you in, because they have forced you to
I
live.
know this shit.
They
I
have
know this
forced
shit.
you.
Man, come on,
They
man.
have
Don't do
forced
that.
you to
Don't
live.
do that.
They have forced you to live on one side of the
You're not talking
politics.
to Candace
They
Owens
have
right now.
forced
That's
you,
what you're not understanding.
bruh.
I'm
That's what I'm
dynamic.
saying,
I'm not Candace Owens. I'm
bruh.
not the Hodge
I'm
twins. I'm
not.
not Officer Tatum,
I'm
bro.
not.
Sorry,
I'm
not
not.
those people, bro.
I know who I'm
You're
talking to.
not getting it though.
I
I'm
know
not
who
them
I'm
people, bro.
talking to.
I'm
I know who I'm
not
talking
your boy out in California, whatever his old head name is. Not him. Not these
to.
other freaking weirdos, bro,
I
who are
am
paid
not.
to push anti-black propaganda. I'm not
I
none of them
am
people,
not.
bro.
Listen what I'm saying. I'm saying that the reason why black
I just
people
believe in
are so
a
fixated.
certain philosophy from a Christian perspective and from an American perspective that those people just don't believe in. And unfortunately, no matter how you slice it, it's painful. It's unfortunate. The world is the way it is. So some things you got to deal with and get over. You not man. If you don't know you're being propagandized again, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, man. Yeah, like there's other options. Most of us out here talking like there's others. You know how all pro-black people are like Pan-African people talk about, we can find a home in Africa, we can go to the Caribbean. Like all that weird freak talk. That shit is bullshit.
Would you
All that
consider
shit's
them?
weird,
So
fantasy,
would you consider them to be
bullshit
on the
talk. It's
left?
weird shit.
Would you
Of course
consider
they
them
are.
to be on the
Absolutely.
left?
Yep.
So why
Sure
wouldn't
is.
they? But why would it not be considered on the right when most of them have conservative views like you?
Nah, they're on the left. They're on the left. They don't have my views.
I'm asking
They're on the
you a
left. I'm
question,
telling you, they're on the left.
because most of them are apolitical. Most of these people that you're talking
Nah,
about are apolitical.
they don't. They're on the left.
I will repeat to
They're
you.
not apolitical. They're on the left.
I would say they're
Just
apolitical.
keep listening, keep reading. They're on the left,
I
bro.
listen to them all the time too.
They're on the left.
If you're talking about people
Maybe
like
you
Jared,
don't know. Maybe you don't know what the left
Jared
is.
Hall,
They're on the left, bro.
if you're talking about people, we're talking about the black political left. I'm just this. We're gonna
Yeah,
separate.
the black. When you add the word black to it, they're trying to pretend that they're separate. They're not. They're intertwined with the rest of the left.
If you're talking about Diallo, Kenyatta, what's the female name that we listen to sometime and we kind of go over some of her stuff?
My girl.
That they were out on Kamala. Yeah, these people, they're like Bernie bros and stuff. Like the person that they would vote for most likely would probably be like a Bernie person, somebody like that. Anti-capitalist.
Or just don't participate.
That's what I'm saying. Or they don't participate. But I'm saying most of these people that's left of them and to go further left, they go into that revolutionary talk that you're talking about. They're apolitical. They don't believe in the United States at all. They don't believe in the government, bruh. They don't.
Literally just said that.
No, but no, you said
that's my point.
That's
my point.
That's
from the left. They don't know they're left. They're left.
They don't know how to separate.
I don't need to. Bro.
Government structure, bro.
Don't need to.
It's the
They're
same
on the left.
thing. It's the same thing as having
somebody. Whoa. Hold up, then.
Right.
Hold up, then. No.
Part of these extreme organizations that want to take over the government, bro. They're the same thing.
Let me ask you this question, then. So you said they're apolitical, right? And they're anti-American, right?
Yeah.
Then answer this question: Why does the white left use their talking points?
The white left use their talking points as leverage.
Why do Democrats use their talking points? Not the right. Why does the left adopt their philosophy and their talking points? Then I'll wait.
You talking about the top two? Which one are you talking about? Which one are we talking about now? Which left?
The Democrats, progressives, however you want to name these motherfuckers, whatever they are, the people that you're talking about who are claiming to be it's all left. And if you listen to what they're saying the right way, the correct way, you hear what they're saying, you can tie them right to the left. The left takes their philosophies, their ideas, and integrate it into the Democratic Party. I know I'm not making this shit up, right?
No.
I'm not giving you examples if you need the examples. I'm gonna tell you, we don't have to go that heavy with, we know what it is.
I could tell you how you recognize it, because
I've been telling you that from once I saw it. Like, oh shit, this is crazy.
The right is trying to slow down, constrict, and limit. Right. The left is trying to open up, make more open, make more so-called fluid, and make everything laissez-faire. Right. So the constriction and the laissez-faire is going on. Yeah, you just like the extreme right. Right, those so-called crazy
who want America all white.
Yeah, those people. Just like how they're using their talking points, and it gets filtered down to like your Majory, Taylor Greens, and your other people's stuff like that. Yeah,
we want a white America.
Functioning.
Yes.
Hold on, it's still functioning the same way. What you need? Okay. So give me like 30 more minutes. What I want to say to you though, Paradox, this is what I want to say, man. I think that your framing for blaming everything on the left is way out of bounds. This doesn't have any historical context. That's why I have to always go back to the history of it. We just talked about the immigration becoming so laissez-faire. That wasn't done by a Democratic president. That was done by a Republican one. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Like the stuff that you're talking about, it wasn't something that was done. It wasn't so-called linked to a party. It's more of operating politics in this country to gain power. Power is the apparatus to where people use their ideas to enforce. And where we're getting lost into this type of deal is two main white groups of people that are the same folks overall. Now, you do understand that when it comes down to it,
we're not doing that. We already know everything. I'm good on that.
Okay,
we're good on all that, bro. You don't got to reiterate none of that shit. I know what the right did in the past and it changed the left. I got all that. We talking about right now. We talking about right now, though. No, we talking about right now. I got you, political scientist, historian. I got you.
They're not
talking about right now, though.
Country, bro. They're not trying.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure they not.
That's false. It's not true, man. And it doesn't back up outside.
I think you might be a little bit too trapped in history. I think you got to understand, if you really study today and what they've done in the last 30 or 40 years and look at where we're headed and how it's structured, it's so obvious to me. I can't sleep at night. It's just terrifying, to be honest with you. If you look at what they've done in the political space, the cultural space, and the financial space, those three spaces, and we can even add globalization on top of it as well, it is literally destroying the country. You just don't see it. You think it's a left-right thing. No, it is a left thing today.
Let's have a formal breakdown between what we deem the left talking points and where people should be as far as blackness is concerned, because we do agree that blackness has something to do with the political landscape of this country, correct? Do we agree right there? Blackness we're
on the same page. We don't got to. We're on the same page, man. I don't need clarification.
You said
black. Fuck the audience listening, by the way. I don't need clarification. I'm
good. I got you. So I think that maybe we need to show and prove, because I can walk you down through the process as far as the intimate relationship they force black people to have with the left. It makes it more hypercritical, because that is where they put you automatically, even if you don't want to be there. So it's like a forced type of thing to where you're still trying to prove that, no, I'm not just here to kind of be the black person talking on these points. I want to talk about America. I want to talk about freedom. I want to talk about basically trying to get this country back to where it needs to be again. And what I'm saying is that the right has been able to isolate, because of the racism on the right that's been able to permeate for so long and exist. It's just part of the fabric. That's where all the white nationalists go. So when they are over there to filter down their extreme ideologies to the government side of it, where you have political operatives that are operating on the right, they automatically have that. If you're a person of color, that kind of terminology, you're automatically put into the bucket of left, liberal, anything that have to be, anything coming out of your mouth until proven otherwise got to be proven to be opposite of that. So that's what I'm saying. So you're working at a negative, you're working at a deficit. Now on the left, there's something else that's happening, because they automatically put you at a plus, but then they start to subtract. And that's where the problem comes, because they say, oh, no, you this, and this, and we appreciate you, this and that other. But then they start to kind of take away and chip away from, Now you got all these other people involved. Now you got Hispanics involved. Now we're talking about LGBTQ rights. Now we're not talking about stuff that you promised us. You're not talking about building wealth in the so-called community. You're not talking about helping with the mental aspect of with the Black issues. You're not actually focusing on Black boys and stuff like that. It just starts to deviate. You're propping up the woman and stuff like that. So you start to have these silos and these anti things going back and forth, and it causes confusion, it causes frustration, it causes fights within the group dynamic to where you do not get things done. And at the end of the day, you end up supporting the group that's in power, which is white liberal people in this country. So that is something that is hidden. But I'm telling you, man, the only reason why they can stay hidden this good is because you're right. They will use a revolutionary argument to keep their power in place. So they will hide behind the mistreatment that Blacks are basically experiencing and saying, well, yeah, you can express it over here. But like I said, they start you at a plus and then they start to deviate. They start you from a negative on the right side, and you have to build yourself up by saying, I don't believe in the Blackness. I believe in America first, blah, 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 blah. So it's just how you want to do it. Where you feel the need to where you can actually operate the strongest. Now, I really do mean this. Now you have thrown your shots in this thing. I'm trying not to make it to where I'm personally attacking people, bro. I understand the frustration, but like I said, I think that the intimate connection, and we talked about it maybe like 2 or 3 programs ago, where we were talking about how you know, being that we're like over here on that side, 80 to 85% Democrats or whatever the case may be, that's where your argument and your angst is going to be, because that's where your people are at the end of the day. So anything that's Black or this not other, being that that's the majority, you're going to have your particular anger there. It's going to be filtered there because you are dealing within that space. So that's where I land on that argument. But I think that there's more nuance that we can get into. I would like to have some examples that we can go back and forth. We could see the back and forths that's being used to kind of play these kind of groups. Now you got to understand now, some of these things that people, like we talked about it, right? What I would call the fake right. They're not really the right, but they're leftist, and that happens on the white side too. These so-called manosphere guys that have these prostitutes, these women that are not wives. These are not Christian women that they have on their programs. These women are in bikinis. They're talking about all forms of doing everything thing, but you're trying to say that you're trying to lift up politics on the so-called right side or the conservative side of being Christian and stuff like that. And I understand that that's completely separate from you, but you do have to understand that that is being used as a ploy to cause confusion too on the right. That's all I'm saying, bro. So just like there's a manipulation as far as Black people are concerned, there's a lot of manipulation for white people that's on the right that live that kind of same kind of lifestyle on that side, bro. It's just the flip side of it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And we can land there, man. And I'll wait for your response. And I gotta run, man. But man, we gotta continue this discussion. I definitely want to contend, but we gotta continue this discussion, man. We can't be throwing slick shots, man, at people, man, when we just talking about ideas, bro. Let's not.
Who am I throwing shots at?
You saying that everybody on, you saying Black men only, you know I'm on the left, bro. What you gonna be like, you know?
But it's not personal. It's business.
Dude, it sounds very personal, bro. It sounds very personal. No, but go ahead. I know you don't mean it that way. I know you don't mean it that way.
I said the way I gotta say it. So I'm not here to curtail or make anybody feel any kind of way. I'm gonna have to say the way I gotta say it.
All right, that's cool.
It's obviously never personal. I mean, in the reality, I really don't give a fuck, really. But when we're talking politics and we in the mix. This is what I do. And when we're in the mix, we're in the mix. And when I'm watching and studying and observing how the culture is moving, how the world is moving, and like you just said perfectly, um, both sides use things for political advantage. That's a part of the game of politics. So there's no, obviously I'm not lost in the environment. I understand what it is. I mean, but we're playing with it, right? So we're playing the game. And so when you're doing politics and you're on the right and you're on the left, you're taking positions. You understand that they will adopt whatever they have to adopt if there's a vulnerability, if there is a way to take advantage of a situation. Like you said, when the left decided to kind of get off of the working class, specifically the white working class, when they decided to get off heterosexual males, there was an opportunity there that far right people, caught on to and took advantage of and exploited it, obviously. So yeah, I mean, we can. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
we can have those conversations all day.
yeah. I
But when
think
I'm in,
that
but when I'm in more my,
yeah.
when I'm in my political mode though, and you're taking shots at Trump or the right, then I'm going to respond politically. And people can feel however they fuck your feelings. People can feel however they want to feel about it. I give two shits at the end of the day. If you don't understand politics, then that's your problem. That's not my problem. And I'm not here to keep explaining that shit to nobody either, by the way. If you don't know politics, then what can I do with you, right? I know that most Americans don't give a shit about politics, to be honest with you. They hit a button if they do decide to vote, and they live their lives, and they will adapt and adjust to whatever the environment tells them. Am I right about that? When they told motherfuckers you're gonna take that
I agree.
shot or you don't have no job, these motherfuckers folded like fucking printer paper. You know what I'm saying? No backbone. Nobody when they got no guns to shut down no state. You complied. You obeyed. So I mean, we can. I don't have to do all that. I shouldn't have to do all that, right? Like I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I know how Americans are built, bro. At the end of the day, I got too many examples, right? At the end of the day, luckily, you may have a few states that felt some pressure to deal with some shit that happens when it's big shit. But we really dig into real everyday things, and we see how Americans respond to it. Again, that's a different conversation. We can have that as well, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that yeah, kind of get more deeper into it, and then like we can go into some of like talk about Roland Martin and how he's being used to kind of you know because I don't even like the way that Roland uses what's our doctor name, Dr. Greg
Yeah,
Carr.
Dr. Carr.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right thing to do. But yeah, because it just compromises him from where he's really strong at, which is the history part, which should be it should not be something that is forced upon him not to. I mean, don't put him in a position to take a side. That's what I'm saying. When he should be like more of a in the observation mode of giving the facts and letting people decide from there. Like I think that sometimes because we know that his side is basically the side of black people, the benefit of what the black people what's best for black folks, and this is what it is on both sides, and he's not a friend on neither side to a degree. Like he can keep it honest and just speak about the history. That's what I like that he does, where he's really strong on those points. So
I agree with you 100%. Yep. He's
but
been taken
Roland
advantage of,
clearly
and I keep
Roland is
telling, and I keep
Roland is
telling you.
political
Now
with a
think about
lean.
this. He's pro-black, pan-African. He's everything, right? Think about that. That's one of my. I don't want to, point out. I shouldn't have to at this point, obviously, but he's an example that I shouldn't have to bring up. Of course, it just within conversation. But he's an example of what I'm talking about. By the way,
Yeah.
is that he literally is the perfect example of what I mean about how you can use people who should just be giving you the information.
And I don't
But
know. I don't
instead,
know if
you infuse it into politics. You infuse it into leftist politics. You infuse it into black leftist politics, and it becomes a whole situation. Because I mean, you think about, remember, do you know how many black people that I follow who are on the left who whine and complain about how they're being treated by white people and how stupid that shit sounds to me.
Yeah, man.
That they just happy to get access, or not that they're happy, that they feel I don't know if it's I don't know what the word is like. I don't know if it's contradictory. They feel strange because you're pushing blackness, but you're paid for by white people. You're pushing blackness, but you're still asking white folks for everything. And then instead of you discussing that shit, right, you're trying to front on me. That's my issue with blacks on the left is that
right. You're asking them to be intellectually honest, and I agree. I always agree.
That's all I'm saying. But I've noticed that it's highly influential, and I'm around black people all the time, and I listen to them talk intently. I mean, I'm all in on every word they say, and I'm like, oh, that shit sounds very familiar, right? You're not really giving me your idea,
right?
You're parroting information. Because you're being propagandized to. Now, I'm being propagandized to on the right, obviously. I will confess it. I shouldn't have to. It's fucking obvious, right? We're being propagandized to, and so you're trying to figure out what's going on. Dr. Carr should be a neutral, right?
Right.
He should just say, this is the information.
Right.
You feel about it how you feel about it, deal with it how you deal with it, and that's pretty much it. But what I've noticed is that they'll take Dr. Carr or other pro-black people who have phenomenal studies, research, ideas about the treatment of black people and through the whole spectrum all over the world, right? And I was like, it's not that you just trying to teach me information. You're trying to manipulate me and attach me.
Influence.
Somehow
it's called
the Democratic Party.
Influence.
That's what I've been arguing about all the time, every day, all day.
Influence, man. It's manipulation. If you don't take it in,
you're not freeing us from anything. Because if you actually fix the ghettos that you're in charge of, if you actually made sure black people, when you have the government power at the federal level to give us contracts and on and on and on and on, I could just forever and forever and forever. If all those things was real, and you truly sacrifice yourself as a white liberal who owns half the land, half the resources, and has the power in this country, I'd be quiet because I can see that they're actually sharing those things. But I don't give a fuck that you're swapping out a black person in a fucking superhero movie, or that you put a black person on television. That I don't care, but that's bullshit stuff. And we can just keep on going. A black CEO, I don't give a fuck what the fuck it is. Whatever the fuck they doing, that shit is bullshit. Because I know and I have seen it. And I have heard black people who are very close to powerful white people, I've heard them just express it and talk about it.
Yeah,
is that when you actually start to hit real things, it's a no. You might as well be they might as well be a Republican that you're talking to. At the end of the day. That's what I'm talking about. The rest of y'all talking about some other shit.
Well, no,
y'all talking about other shit.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I agree with
y'all
that.
On some other shit.
No. That's what I agree. When that
white ice shows up,
I want to knock down the hierarchy.
Let me explain something to you, bro. When that white money show up on YouTube and Instagram and those college facilities, those black universities, and all, when that white money show up, right? We don't know what the fuck is going on as regular black people. That's all I'm saying. We getting played, and when you wrap it in blackness, you don't see it because they victimize your ass. We have everything we need, and we can leverage Democrats and Republicans to get what the fuck we want. But what we cannot do is be victims, and what we cannot do is attach ourselves so aggressively to parties to where they use your shit to help other people, and you're not getting anything. Now, that's not, again, what I'm telling you is I'm parroting. I'm not telling you my thoughts about it. I'm telling you about academia, black academia, right? High-level professors, right? Black politicians, black executives, and black folks who are in the media. That's what they're saying. I'm just keeping track of the shit. Because there's no way a black person, gay, straight, or whatever, is in a all left-wing progressive environment, say like MSNBC, and somehow they're bound by things that don't match the realities that we're being told. You're right? But you keep finding all the niggas off of MSNBC. Well, that doesn't make any sense. And then why are they complaining? That doesn't make it. Now, if you fuck up your job, that's a different. Obviously, if you fuck up as just a regular employee, that's one thing. But if you're Joy Reid or pick a motherfucker, it doesn't matter who you pick, right? And you're free from what? You're doing what? That doesn't make any sense. You're a Democrat. You're a liberal. You're progressive. You're part of Bernie Sanders. I mean, pick somebody, right? We can pick black, white. It doesn't really fucking matter. You're saying a lot of things. You're pushing a lot of fucking ideas, but your treatment within that group don't match. It doesn't match. And then when somebody on the right, like a Candace gets kicked, that's Jew shit. That's a different conversation, of course. But somebody like her gets kicked out of something, or some black person on the right gets mistreated. Black people can't wait to shit on them. But I'm thinking to myself, well, but white liberals are shitting on you all the time. So what the fuck is the difference? So you're playing a game. I'm just trying to show blacks the left's game, because they can see the right shit all day. They can see that as clear as fucking day, right? But for some reason, we can't see the left shit. I'm just taking that position, bro. Y'all don't gotta like it. Y'all don't gotta like it. Don't give a fuck. Honestly, I'm all in. 10 toes, 100% down. I'm in. I see the bullshit. That's all I'm saying. And a lot of people.
Then you do have to concede that positioning is based off your proximity to people that's on the left. That's all I'm saying to you, Paradox. That's all I'm saying, bro.
I'm bathed in the left, bro. Motherfuckers right down the street. It's 2,000 people in my. Hold up. There's 2,000 freak lefty white folks in my neighborhood right now protesting. I could drive over there right now and show you the fucking and live streaming for you right now on StreamYard, real time. 2,000. Matter of fact, if motherfuckers Google it right now, they'll find it on. They just on it. It's in the news right now.
They got the Black Lives Matter sign in the yard.
Everything.
That's some creepy stuff, man. To see a whole white neighborhood and all black lives. You don't even see them in the hood. You don't even see that in the hood, bro. Black Lives Matter.
If you go to an all black rich neighborhood, you won't see Black Lives Matter and you won't see American flags. The shit is it's generic as a motherfucker. The only thing you see is darker skin. They vote left, automatically, obviously, but
yeah.
They're not in there. Like you said, when you really dig into just the everyday, if outside of politics, if you just dig into the everyday people, it's like you said, it's a lot of complexity. It's a lot of complexity.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying to you, man. But I think we ought to dig a little bit deeper into this, because I want to really, I think what you just said, I think that holds a little bit more of gravitas. You're there to kind of show the dichotomy between both sides, because it's not being seen on the left as much. But I think that
we're being played by black people. That's my problem. We're being played by black people. That's the scary part, by the way.
But there is a historical. But
Tyler Perry goes to the BET, goes on BET and say they trying to erase black people. I'm like, bitch, they can't erase black people. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about right now? But that's that left wing bullshit that I'm talking about. But it's wrapped in blackness, and you feel good when he says
it. That's why I say we
love being victims, bro. It is a disgusting position.
So you see,
and I'm gonna tell you something. Watching the Jewish shit, I've been watching Jewish shit for a long time, and I have been waiting for this. But I've been waiting for them to finally do what they really believe in doing, and to see how they move. If you don't know that we have a weird way of being kind of similar to that shit with the victimhood shit, that is a bad position, bro. And I understand whiteness and power and colonization and empire and imperialism and capitalism and global capitalism. I get it. Trust me, I fucking understand it, bro. I'm telling you, that victimhood shit is not the position you want to be in your mind.
It would be better.
You talking about the mindset. The mindset.
You have a better.
Remember, it's the mindset. Think about this. Tyler Perry is worth $1 billion fucking dollars. Hold on for a second. Just think about this. I'm watching the BET Awards. Tyler Perry and everybody in that award show has at least, for the most part, has at least seen $1 million. Now I know they get superficial. I know it's money. I know people want to get into the other bullshit, the psycho babble bullshit. This motherfucker, nigga, what are we talking about right now? What you talking about, right? You a victim? You live in a fucking mansion, but you a victim because you a nigga. Get the fuck. That's that bullshit. Oh, well, no, well, Bill Gates got a bigger mansion, so I'm a victim still. Man, what the fuck are we talking about right now? It's so perverted. It's so perverted. And it feels so good for some black dude that made his way through, and he didn't need Hollywood, but we'll just say he didn't need Hollywood, and he got his own shit, and yada yada yada. Why the fuck are you still talking about victimhood shit, nigga?
Yeah,
You
had
make
to sleep in his
movies.
car,
You got money.
had
I
to
don't
go
hear
to
that
killing
shit.
circuit and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I'm.
I don't hear that shit, bro.
But
I don't hear
that's
that
what
shit.
I'm. You
Everybody in America who was not born into wealth, which is most people, no matter what your race is, had to struggle.
you don't
It is
see.
a
You don't
motherfucking
see.
lie.
You
It's a
don't see
lie.
that.
It is a
You
lie.
don't. You don't see. You don't see the same thing from the other side, bro. As far as how the so-called
Bruh, I
white.
follow so many
The,
white poor people, it
listen,
ain't
man.
even funny.
But
I
that's what
follow
I'm saying.
so
You
many
don't
white
see
people
them.
who have
You
drug
don't
abuse,
see
who don't
them.
have a dad, who
Listen, bro.
struggle. I follow all that shit, bro.
Listen.
That's the balance, though. That's the balance.
But that's what I'm
That's the
trying to
balance.
say. You don't see them
Indian,
being played the same
Asian,
way. But
struggling,
you don't.
coming from
but you don't
struggling
see.
environments,
But you don't
Latinos.
see what they
I
choosing
see the
first.
balance.
But you don't
And
see
the
what they
left
choosing first, though,
and the
right?
left is
It's the same
designed
thing,
to
though.
absorb
You're missing
victimhoods
my
of
point, man.
non-white
You're missing my
people to
point,
leverage them
man.
in this system, bro.
You're
Nah,
missing my point,
you
man.
just not getting it. You don't see it.
No, I
You're
do
blinded
see
by
it.
race.
How?
I'm not.
No,
I'm free.
no, race gives me clarity, bro.
Race is a
Because
construct.
without me
Race is
understanding
a
that,
part of the system. It's not the only thing in the system.
without me understanding that, what you said would not make any sense for the reason why the white man complained on that side. It would not be. It would not be
It's
a
not
thing, bro.
complaining. It's not
It
complaining.
would not be a thing, bro.
It's not. If you
It would not be a
if
thing.
you are a drug addict living in a trailer park and you don't have shit, and you work your way up and get something done, what the fuck are we talking about right now? What are we talking about right now? If you come from some shithole country in Europe and you got on a boat and came over here and worked your way up, what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about right now? Oh, well, no, you was a settler. Oh, no, you're a part of George Washington. Oh, no, you're a part of the global white empire. Is that what we're talking about right now? That's the play, right? That's the play, right? But that individual person, that ain't the play. They struggle. Am I wrong about that? Or do I give them a pass because they got white skin? And from a pro-black perspective especially, they don't get a pass, right? I can't have that nuance, right? Or there's the white person. It doesn't matter. What the fuck are we? What the fuck is that? That's just as fucking retarded as everything else, isn't it?
No, I think
Spain is a country who's bankrupt. Greece is a country who's bankrupt. Countries are struggling in Eastern Europe. What are we talking about right now?
It's the same
Hey,
thing. We're talking about
he's selling a bullshit idea that's not there. It's bullshit.
So Joe Rogan and them talking about their rights being taken away, or these other guys are talking about their rights being taken away.
Well, you don't talk about that, but I got you.
But I'm saying the same narrative.
Do Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk. That's a better example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So there is examples of what you're talking about.
But I understand though why their message connects, because it's the same situation, right? From a white perspective, on the right, victimhood.
But it's manipulation.
Yeah, people like Charlie Kirk.
But it's manipulation.
A white person,
I get it, but that's manipulation too. On that.
Guess what the difference is, though? I will talk about it. I'm not denying it. I will tell you about it. That's the difference. You're talking about some other shit. I would spend a whole program talking about white poverty and white struggle and how they manipulate them and use them to get votes. What are we talking about? I'm not hiding any of that shit. I want to talk about that. That's what makes me different, though, is that I'm not trying to hide the right in what they do. I just know what they are. It's the left that's doing the high level manipulation shit. That's all I'm saying to black people.
When have I tried to hide the left, though? When?
Every day.
Come on, man. Paradox. Come on, bro.
All day.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
They let us do that.
No. I said they work from a positive standpoint, and then they deviate from there. The right side of politics, because of the race angle, they work from a negative, because you have to prove that you're not there to talk about race. And if you are going to be there to talk about race, it has to work on the plus side for their group.
Bro, them letting you talk about race don't do shit.
The reason why you
It's a
have
scam.
black people attacking on the right to talk about the cultural underpinnings of the people that's so-called on the left. They're using your talking points. You sound just like them. I could easily say that. Yeah, you sound just like these people talking on the left, basically saying that. But I know that your argument is more nuanced than that. You have to give me the benefit of the doubt when it comes down to that, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's all I'm saying. But I do have to run, man. I have to get this little girl something. She getting restless, but man, we have to continue this discussion next week. Let's do this, bro. Let's go into a deeper dive about what you about the claim that you're making. About the claim that
I ain't
that
claiming
black people.
nothing. I'm talking facts.
That's not a
It's
factual
facts.
statement. That's
Facts.
not your opinion.
Facts.
That is an
Like, I ain't doing no opinions. Facts.
That's
absolute.
Well, your opinion, your opinion needs to be.
I got evidence. It's facts.
Well, then provide the evidence, and I provide my evidence. We'll have the evidence, and we don't talk about it. We'll just go and we'll provide our evidence.
Think about me. Put it this way, though. Think about me as a researcher, right? I do the research. I'm just giving you the information. That's all I'm doing. The fact, it's already been proven. I'm just putting it out on the live. That's all I'm doing. I'm not guessing. I'm not assuming anything. You know, there's no hypothesis here. This is what it is. I just know that most Negroes ain't gonna like it, and I'm okay with that too.
Man, it ain't about liking, man. We're trying to get to some clarity, bro.
No, these niggas are emotional. Let's not do that. If you're on the left, you are emotional. They play you on your emotions. That's how it works.
Emotional on the right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm logical, bro. I'm logical. I'm talking about me, Paradox. You talking about some other shit.
I'm not talking about you per se. I'm talking about most of the people that I hear argue these points are very emotional. Okay? Both sides.
Look, first, I'm not them. I'm me. That's all I can say. I'm me. I love me some me. Shout out to T.O.
Yeah, all right, T.O.
Fuck everybody else.
High five.
Right? Fuck everybody else, bro. Same with you. You ain't no different. Fuck everybody else. Ain't worry about them people.
Huh? I'll tell you after you're off the phone.
Okay. So say, give me 5. All right. Say goodbye, Uncle Paradox.
Goodbye, Uncle Paradox.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
All right, man.
What's up, Queen?
She looking at your picture on the thing. She said that's yeah, that's him, but he's covered up. There we go.
That's funny.
He looks like a different person. He doesn't look like that.
You say what?
He doesn't look like that.
All right.
He looks way more taller.
All right, man. Let's get off, man. Let's end this bit.
All right. Well, this is Paradox.
All right. This is DC. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
Goodbye.